Hey guys, this is Harry, Zero's Geckos, doing another vlog. Right now I'm kind of doing some chores in the gecko room. I need to feed the geckos, all the babies and adults, but I wanted to show you guys this new tent I got. Let me show you. I got this new plant tent. The desk used to be here where the gecko pod is, and we usually film, and you can see all that background right there, right? But I moved my desk up towards the cages, and then instead I put this 4x2x5 grow tent, and I put some plants in here. And yeah, I just got into plants. I'm pretty excited about it. I like plants because it's very similar to crescents when it comes to projects. You just get a lot of cool genes and cool things that are different, and you put them together and you come up with awesome stuff, right? So this one is a hybrid. A lot of these are from Phil and Lexi at Fontanimal. They've been helping me a lot with a lot of questions that bother them a lot, and I finally got this pack of plants in from them. This is an Anthurium Michelle and a red crystal. I guess it's their red crystal version. It's they call it a red crystal premium. This one's cool. This is awesome. It's so beautiful. This is a Florida Beauty from them. This one's a Monstera Tycon from them that they sent over a few weeks ago. This one's a Syngonium Albo. I got this one locally on Facebook Marketplace. This was like 20 bucks, but it's beautiful. Brian, who actually told me about this plant, he's like, dude, you don't have to get expensive plants, just get this one. It's beautiful and it's cheap. And that's true. I love this one. It cost me only 20 bucks. These ones are a little bit more pricey. Fancy high-end plants. Philodendron, Florida Beauty. I love this plant, and it's on the lower end now because I guess saturated. I don't know the plant market too super well, but it's a lot cheaper than it used to be. So I guess it's not unlike cresteds where cresty markets prices also fluctuate and people buy stuff and overproduce, and it dumps the prices. It's a natural order of the market. But this one is an Ace of Spades. I guess it's Phil and Lexi's version of the Ace of Spades X. And this is Lexi's Nightmare. They named this one Lexi's Nightmare. It's an Ace of Spades and a Dresslerai. It's beautiful, man. I love this. This one's a little bit drying out this leaf, but it's a beautiful plant. Pink Lemonade and Dresslerai. So we'll let it get acclimated in here. This one is a Carla Blackie, I think it's called. It's beautiful. Oops. But yeah, I really like this one. The veins, and I think it's gonna get darker. I like that one. And then this one is Lexi's Dream, which is, I'm still getting used to all the names of stuff. So this one's a red crystal, and their Ace of Spades. Beautiful. Yeah, so I'm kind of just binging. You know, talking about plants, I'm kind of binging on these plants and trying to kind of learn and figure out what everything is. This reminds me of the crested geckos when I first got into the crested gecko hobby, and I didn't know what's what. And just trying to learn what's a tricolor, what's a Harley, what's a phantom, what's this and that. And I love that aspect of learning. I'm just trying to get the terminology down. My room's a mess right now because I put that plant tent in and I had to move everything else, and so it's pretty messy right now. But let me see. I gotta clean everything up, but let me feed some stuff. Okay. So I'm gonna do a few chores while chatting. Going back to the plants. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the plants. I know some friends have said, you know, Kayla from Crested Conservatory and others have said, you know, the plant world is kind of a sinkhole if you're not careful. You know, you can easily just keep chasing and buying all these new things. So I think I understand that aspect of it being a sinkhole, because to some degree cresteds can also be like that. Obviously the plant market's significantly quicker in terms of the speed of how things are expensive, and then the market on that particular plant kind of drops. And so I totally get that. With cresteds, it's fast, but it's probably a little bit slower just because we have less less projects to chase. With plants, there are so many different hybrids and different combinations that you can do, and so it can definitely get confusing. But I do love this aspect of learning different hobbies that aren't too different, and just trying to figure out and make cool and beautiful things. I think that's the awesome thing about these hobbies of animals or plants, is that we're all just trying to make as beautiful of animals or plants as possible, and I think that's super exciting. So I'm just gonna dabble a little bit with the plants. I just have that 4x2 tent, and hopefully I don't go too far beyond what those restraints are, even though, you know, I said that with the cresteds as well, right? And here we are, a whole rack room later, and me thinking that I should get more space. So I totally get it. So I got to be careful with the plants, but I'm thankful that, you know, I have some friends that can help walk me through that part of the hobby. Phil and Lexi have been awesome. Kayla has been helpful as well, and so thank you to those guys. So I think right now, so as I'm chatting, you know, something I've been thinking about is the community aspect of the hobby. Oh, here's a beautiful animal as I'm feeding. Hold on, I don't know if you can see this, but this thing's so cool. Hold on. Oh jeez. This one's cool animal. This one's out of Hyperion, and a girl that I have unnamed. The girl's from AJ, Emerald Paramount, and that thing is beefy. But yeah, this one's awesome. This one's beautiful. That one's growing out. I'm not sure if it's a male or female yet. I'll have to loop that one and weigh it soon. Going back to the community, chatting about community, I think in the hobby, it's important to find your group of friends and really find some people to invest in. You know, find people that you can become close to, that you can become friends with, and just you know, some people you're not going to get along with everybody. You know, the interesting about the gecko hobby is that I've heard several times from other people that the gecko community has been awesome and has been more welcoming than other places, and I agree. I mean, for myself, that was my experience. Once I came in, I just started chatting everybody up, and some people, you know, I got along with, some people ignored me, and that's fine. You know, not everyone has the time for every single person, and you know, no knock on other people, but the people that kind of stuck by me and helped me out and chatted me up and helped me through a lot of these projects and the learning curve as a new breeder, those are the people that I've come to become friends with, and there are always those types of people that you can find. Again, you're not going to get along with everybody. Some people are less receptive, but yeah, you got to find your people, and I think how you do that is just by going to different people's pages and messaging them. Not to annoy them, but just to kind of put out some feelers to see who's going to connect with you and who's not. And a lot of people message me and AJ, and I'm sure Brian too. But and you know, obviously we try to do our best to talk to everybody. I'll speak for myself. I try to do my best to talk to everyone and try to be excited for everyone's projects, which I truly am. You know, I want to see people to feel welcome as much as possible. But you know, it's not always, not everyone's going to like me, right? Some people like AJ more, some people prefer to talk to me more, and so everybody has kind of their own flavor. But I think one important aspect of the community that to watch out for is people that are just in it for themselves, right? Narcissists, people that are selfish. And 2 years into the hobby now, when I first came in, I was pretty naive, and so I would just talk to everybody and be friendly with everybody. And I'm still friendly with people, but I'm a little bit more cautious now, just because there's some people just out to use you. I'm the type of personality where I'm very trusting of people, but that also lends itself to people taking advantage of me and people who are like my type of personality. And I've had to learn to just be a little bit more cautious with who I trust. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, as new breeders, be kind, be engaging as much as possible. I know we have a lot of introverts, but also be careful. You don't just watch out for people that are there to use you. Sometimes people will befriend you just so they can get a sale, make some money out of you, and you can easily tell who those people are throughout the seasons that you go through. And yeah, there are definitely leeches in the hobby. There are a lot of leeches. There are a lot of bad characters in the hobby. But there's also a lot of good people. So I'm trying my best to kind of gather and do my part with helping the good people and other people that are just in it for selfish gain. They're trying to scam people that are out to just think about the money and get your money, and that's it. They don't really care about the animals or people. Those are people we got to watch out for. Those are people we got to weed out of the hobby because they're, I don't know, man. It's aspects of snakiness and manipulation that really gets to me. And so anytime I get vibes like that from people, I try to keep a bit of a distance. So yeah, I mean, it's not super hard to tell who's going to be for you and who doesn't care about you. And don't have to be salty about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because someone doesn't talk to me doesn't mean that they don't like me or whatever. Maybe they themselves are just hugely introverted and prefer not to chat as much, and that's totally okay, So let me show you this animal I produced out of Toshi and Panko. This is a little lily white. That's kind of cool. Can you see it? The lighting's bad in here. Yeah, kind of unique. I mean, maybe not unique, just cool. I think the patterning is kind of cool on this one. If you look here, here's all the dirty ones. These are for the small ones. And then here are the clean ones that I use. Water and food. I also use these as well, water or food. So I just kind of swap these out. Sorry, I'm back. Been jumping around a little bit. Video's a bit chopped up from cleaning to now it's nighttime and it's almost bedtime, and I just want to finish the video. I get distracted a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on in this house. Whether it's the geckos or the kids, there's always something going on. And so, but yeah, talking about community, really I do feel really blessed. Blessed by all the friends that I've made. Some really good friends, obviously. And a lot of people I'm still getting to know and still chatting with, and hopefully people also feel a sense of community and feeling like they belong as well, and I think that I love the diversity of personalities and people that are different, that are loud or that are really quiet, and that's what kind of makes the community kind of a fun and interesting place. People working on all sorts of projects and excited about all sorts of things, things that don't interest me in terms of their projects, but also, I think that's why it's so awesome, because we're not just all the same persons. But I love that about the hobby, about the community, and how we're all just different and just trying to grind things out. There is a lot of negativity, but there's also a lot of positivity. Something that is difficult though is, just when people complain all the time, complain about each other, complain about this and that, and I understand that, we're all allowed to kind of critique different aspects of the hobby, and whether it's care or people or shady practices, and I think that's fine, and we should call out things that are actually legitimately shady, but I do also think that we kind of take things too far sometimes, Sometimes a lot of things are maybe kind of sketchy or borderline. Maybe I wouldn't do that, but it's fine. We don't have to call out every single aspect and every single detail that we see that is wrong with another person's breeding practices or another person's personality, right? Like I said before, we're all not going to get along with each other. Some people just don't like each other, and that's fine, but I think just leave it at that. Just go your own separate ways, do your own separate thing, and just enjoy your animals and your projects, and build the community around people that are similar to you. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to get everybody to like me. I've learned that in life, that just be yourself, and some people will be drawn to you and other people will not be drawn to you. Some people might even hate you, right? But that's okay. I'm not gonna we shouldn't spend our time worrying about who hates us and trying to get more people to like us, right? I think that's a never-ending game that will just bring you down into bad places, right? So just be yourself and be good to people, as many people as possible, and let people be drawn to you as they come, But yeah, I did want to just mention some of those things. I know it can be a little bit more negative to kind of bring those things up and talk about it, but I think it's good to at least have that conversation, just so that we're all aware of how things are and how to improve, right? So I always see things in the sense of, okay, whatever's happened has happened, right? We can't change the past, but looking forward from this point on, how do we make it better? Okay? How do we make it better for ourselves, myself? How do I make it better for other people around me? And I guess when you're able to have that mindset, then you just look for things to build. You build the community, you build each other up, you encourage one another, and you find ways to create space for other people to thrive and grow and flourish. So for me, the hobby, while we all have a little bit of a competitive edge and some jealousy, even sometimes, we see people doing great and we're not there yet. That's just a human thing, but I think if we're able to just kind of let some of that go and just be happy for people's successes and not worry about being competitive towards other people, you just find more peace personally when you don't worry about those things. So the aspect of trying to be at peace in community and trying to be at peace with where you're at in business, right? Being at peace doesn't mean that you're not ambitious. Of course, be ambitious, work as hard as you can to do the best that you can in all areas of your life, but also with this idea of just doing it with joy and with peace, and as much peace as possible. Like we often hear about, we cut the noise out and just put your head down and grind and just do amazing things. So let your work speak for itself. Let your character speak for itself, and people will either receive you or not. And from there, you just take it as you go, and you adjust, you make adjustments, and yeah, eventually you'll be at a place where you want to be, and the whole time, hopefully, you'll be able to find kind of this aspect of joy and happiness. Gecko just jumped out, kamikazed. You'll be able to find this joy and happiness with whatever you do, whether it's hobbies or geckos or whatever it is that you're going to do. Let me show you this gecko that just kamikazed. This girl. Very high coverage, creamy girl. This one's I got from AJ. Oops. This one I bought off of AJ. I love this girl. I got this one at around 20, I want to say like 20-25 grams or so, and we grew it out. It's now like 48 grams or something. So she'll be ready to go, ready to breed this upcoming season. Can you guys see? I don't know if you guys can even see. It's dark in here. Lighting is terrible, but hopefully you can kind of get an idea. Just look at all that coverage. You can kind of see the base color of this animal. It's actually dark. Oops, oh my gosh. It's actually dark, you see? It's like the dark. There we go. It's actually dark there, you see? When it's fired up, it's dark. You'd see the dark spots pop out, and then all that stuff that's covering it is just all the white patterning, the white spotting, and AJ has kind of fine-tuned this line so much so that the coverage on this thing has covered so much of its base color that it's starting to look creamier, whiter, and obviously his stuff is pretty next level. This one's like a creamier version. It's not as white as some of his best stuff, but he's obviously stacked that white patterning and white spotting so much that it's covered all that black base. Really great structure on this one. So this one's name is Owl. So this one I'll be pairing this season to this kid that I named Ghost, this boy named Ghost. That boy is also a very high covered animal. It's almost so covered you can't even see its base. Let me see if I can pull him out before I end this vlog. This one, again, sorry for the bad lighting, but this one is a bit whiter on the whiter side, but he's so high covered that you can barely see his base. You can see a little bit peeking through his armpit, but he's also fired down right now. But even when he fires up, he's pretty much looks like this. It's very close. Get better lighting. Hold on. Okay, there it goes. So this is Ghost. I would consider this creamy still. I hesitate to call anything white nowadays, because there's all this controversy. I wouldn't say controversy. There's just all this talk about people saying things are white or not white, and I'm one of those as well, you know. And so, but this guy is on a higher scale. On the higher scale, if we had to rate it, you know. So this is all. Look at all that coverage. It's just this white animal that's just so covered. This one is from Donna. Crimson Cresties. Yeah, and why these animal projects are cool is because it's kind of hard to have. You'll see a lot of high coverage animals, but guess the goal for these is to get as much coverage, maybe even a little bit of pattern I think would look nice, but some very high coverage and as high white as possible, and that's kind of the goal. I feel like AJ's already hit a lot of that already. He's just trying to stack it even further to make it even more white. But this animal is actually pretty crazy already. I feel like he could be more white still, for sure. So I'm gonna see, you can see his little black right there. That's his base color peeking through a little bit under his armpit. Pretty cool animal. It's probably my favorite pairing is gonna be these two. But yeah, there should be a lot of good stuff coming up this season, but this one and owl is one of them, so. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out, for listening, and hopefully, I don't know if you learned anything, but I don't know, just as we chat, then there's always, hopefully there's little nuggets of wisdom that pop here and there that you guys can latch on as a new breeder. Hopefully, you know, we can just continue to learn together as we talk a little bit more and have more conversations, rambling conversations about geckos and the hobby and the community. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.